Revival. I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Revival!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets.
Woo!
Yes,
One more, baby.
Let's
One more.
go,
Go
Mets.
Mets.
Let's go, Mets.
Go.
Let's go, Mets. Let's go, Mets.
And of course, man, I'm here with my brother. I'm sorry. El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka what they said, they suck less than Hillary Clinton. That's what that.
That was great. Line of the century.
They suck less. I mean, he sucked less than Hillary Clinton in the 90s, which you have to assume was not at all.
That was not at all.
You know what? Hold on.
That
Let me
That
refresh
was-
your memory. Let me refresh.
Yeah.
your memory.
Jefe, you got to admit, he didn't suck in that game. Not even a little, actually. He sucked less than Hillary Clinton in the 90s, which you got to assume was not at all.
Might be your best sign yet.
Yeah?
Honestly, it might be your
that
best
line
sign
right
yet.
there,
Just
that
it hit. It just hit perfectly. Yeah, it was just chef's kiss.
Shout out Big Dash. Big Dash liked that line too.
Yes.
line was insane right there. My brother El Jefe.
I thought you were gonna say AKA Ben Affleck.
No.
I thought
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you were gonna give me.
Also a good line.
That'd be great.
I
That'd
was
be great.
waiting.
Ben
I'll go
Affleck.
too.
If
I
you wait,
think Hillary
you
wants
Ben
to be
Affleck.
movie. I ain't gonna
Great
lie.
movie.
And
Eli,
of
is that
course,
true?
man-
Eli,
Which
is
one?
that true?
What?
Are we all Ben
We all
Affleck?
look like Ben Affleck.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Listen, that's
What
what
a
the show
false-
brings you. The show brings you the truth.
That's true, man. That is
Ben
true.
Affleck.
And shout out to you, yes, you the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support, man. The Giants won this week, guys. The Giants won this week, so we need all the Giant family in here. Come show us some love. It's a party. But first, guys, we gotta get down to business, man. Of course, we gotta pay the bills. This show is brought to you and sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. That's right, Underdog Fantasy. If you use promo code REVIVAL, they will match your deposit by half, up to $250. So please download the app today. Don't forget to use promo code REVIVAL, then match your deposit by half, up to $250. And don't forget, Rand Revival sent you. All right, let us know. We have some fun with you guys. That'll be the best part, man. But yeah, man, let's get right down to business, guys. Jets news: Robert Saleh is out the door. Unfortunately, these guys let him go, man. I just want to go around the room and get y'all opinion on it, man. Was this a long time coming? Was this bad timing? And I'm gonna start with El Jefe on this one, brother. Give me your thoughts, if you can, please.
So long, Saleh. I think this was a pretty bad tenure. I mean, this guy never got over 7 wins. He was Eli. You called him out pretty much every week. I mean, this guy's on the sidelines watching the offense, like, well, I don't know what to do out here. I don't know what they're doing. Like this guy didn't coach. Like, he's a great defensive mind, probably best as a defensive coordinator. But this is how it goes in the NFL, man. These guys get their opportunity when they have success. He led a great defense in San Francisco. He got his opportunity, and he's just not a head coach. In this offense, in this league, I feel like you got to have that offensive head coach, in my opinion. And he just wasn't getting it done. Rodgers is just too much for Saleh to handle. They didn't work well together, and they're moving on. So not surprised. A little bit, the timing was a little bit weird. This could have been done in the offseason. Meaning previous to this season, right? Like, your window is this big. Rodgers is 40. Yeah. You're going for it now. Why stick with a head coach that hasn't done shit for you in 3 years? Why keep going back? So, understand the move. Put it that way. Speak.
Listen, it was just whenever you think things are going wrong in Giants land, you just wait for the Jets to just say, "Hold my beer," and we're gonna come in and just mess it all up, dude. This was your shot. This was your all-in year. and you decide to go into it with a coach that has never won 7 games in 4 years, that's on you. You made this bet, and people are trying to say, hey, this is not Douglas's fault. This is not Salah's fault. They brought in Rodgers. This is Woody. That. Everybody, the same way Shane and Dable are responsible for the Jones decision with Mara. Douglas and Salah, you made your bed when you decided to go with Aaron Rodgers, and you paid the price now. You paid the price because this was a Rodgers firing. Let's call a spade a spade. Woody talked to Rodgers. Rodgers didn't. Something was fractured there. Something was not right because it doesn't make sense, right? You just replaced the defensive head coach with another defensive guy. The offense has been the problem the whole time. So what got better with the Salah firing? Mind you, the Jets were one win away on Monday from getting back into first place. Why the firing now? Why now? It makes no sense. And listen, far be it from me to stick up for Salah because I think he was a dog shit head coach. He should not have been here in the first place.
How do you really feel?
You should have got Vrabel. You should have got Vrabel in here. Vrabel would have had these guys ready to go, and he would have had them primed and in first place right now, without a doubt. He fucked it up from the beginning. You made your bed. Everybody has to pay for it. And the chopping block started with Salah. It should have kept going with Hackett because Hackett is a terrible, terrible offensive coordinator. How he's still there is, again, this is so Jets. This is so Jets. He walks into the building, doesn't even know he's fired, gets escorted out before he talks to his players. Just a shit show. Just a shit show, man. And I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think this is typical Jets, man.
Typical Jets, but I just want to say there was one song that probably played in Robert Saleh's head the entire time while he was on the sideline. And for those who will know, 3-6 Mafia, he was in the club posted up with his arms folded. For the pull down and his haters, he was scoping. Guess what, Robert Saleh? You had your arms folded the entire time on the sideline. You didn't look like you were coaching at all, brother. You know what it looked like to me? It looked like you just let the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator run your team. Then when Aaron Rodgers came, you was like, I really don't got a coach now. You brought this upon yourself, man, to get this big-headed guy named Aaron Rodgers in here to actually be that diva that he is, because his facial expressions be killing me. He be looking like when the receivers, like when he don't pass the receivers, right? Yeah. He don't pass the receivers or he's throwing inaccurate. He gives us look like it's the receiver's fault. No, brother. Aaron Rodgers, you stink. That's the problem, brother. You suck. Right now, the cliff, you're right near the cliff, and you're about to tip right the hell over, brother. Like if a wind blows by, a good one, a very good one, you'll fall right off the cliff, brother. I'm just letting you know, you close and you teeter-tottering to finding that cliff and falling off completely, okay? But let's get back to Saleh for a second here. Unfortunately, he wasn't a good coach. This was the right move for the Jets. The timing is always bad. The Jets never was good with timing. Never have, never will be. Their franchise is just terrible. Let's be honest. Woody Johnson, Johnson & Johnson, you're good at selling Q-tips and baby oil. I don't know what baby oil. That's so funny.
Oh, shout out Diddy.
Shout out Diddy.
Shout out Diddy. Shout out Diddy.
No Diddy. No Diddy. He's ruined baby oil forever.
Shout out Diddy.
Not that I had a good
Johnson or the store brand.
Not that I had a strong relationship with baby oil, but it'll never be the same.
No, exactly. But I'm just saying, Robert Saleh, man, you deserve this one. Shout out. Listen, you'll be a great defensive coordinator.
Great defensive coordinator.
Hands down. I just don't think you were head coaching material since the day they hired you. I really think they were just very desperate, as usual. The Jets are always desperate. But I just want to say this about Aaron Rodgers, too. There's just no way he's playing good football right now. He got a head coach fired, in my opinion. If the team gets better after this, I'll be shocked. I'll be like, man, maybe it was Robert Saleh. But I just don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is the guy of Aaron Rodgers. He's not the MVP level. He's 40 years old. In NFL, that's 108. You know what I mean? So he's old, man. You know what I mean? I think Father Time is finally caught up to Aaron Rodgers. He can't play football like he used to. And it's okay. But you can't sit here and be like, man, I'm trying my hardest and his offense is looking great. No, the offense looks like crap, man. This whole team just doesn't look well. So I like to see where they go from here. I like to see the interim head coach. I don't know. Right now, the Jets is a clusterfuck as usual.
Yeah, that offensive line and Aaron Rodgers combination is a bad combination right now. It's a bad offensive line. You have a weak and brittle 40-year-old dude that can't move around like he used to. It's a bad combo, man, and it's again, and then you got the offensive coordinator on top of it who stinks, cannot call a good game to save his life. Only reason why he's here is because of Rodgers. And this is what happens when you hand the franchise over to a quarterback. It's going to blow up in your face. And I'm sick of there's this rhetoric that like, hey, Saleh did a good job. Look at the defense; it's doing great. You're a head coach, not a defensive coordinator. The job description is not to make one side of the ball good. It's to make your whole team good. So either you didn't hire the right offensive coordinator if you don't want to pay attention to that side, or you didn't do enough as a head coach to look at everything. Like you said, we were talking earlier today, Dable's in all them motherfucking meetings. He's in the defensive line meetings, offensive line, fucking special teams. He is everywhere. Do you see Saleh being that kind of guy?
No.
No,
just the way he presented himself on the sideline. Now, again, I could be wrong, but body language and it kind of speaks loud to me. And he never went over to his offensive coordinator. He never went over defensive coordinator. He never really got the team hyped. When you see Dayball on the sidelines, and always got to refer back to the Giants because that's our larger viewership here, and I'm a Giants fan. Come on, right? But still, we're all Giants.
Come on.
But still, right? When you see Dayball on the sideline, look at the Wink situation. When the defense wasn't playing well at the beginning of that year when Wink was saved, he was like, yo, come on, Wink. Like, you seen him cursing out Wink.
Right.
You seen him looking at Thomas McGahee, I believe that was his name, special teams coordinator, when they had a shit job you seen Dayball like, yo, get this together. You never seen that from Robert Saleh anywhere. Only thing he did was cross his arms, chew his gum extra hard, which I felt terrible for that gum. That gum got to be in so much pain, right?
Really
but he just sat there, looking crazy, like he looking like he got oiled up from the Johnson & Johnson baby oil. Like his whole face was just glistening.
Shut up,
you know what I'm saying? No, did he?
Yo, Eli, know what the problem was? And I think Hard Knocks exposed Saleh. Like some people come off great in that, and he didn't at all. He's just a fanboy. And he gave the reins to Rodgers. He's on the side like tittering, watching him like throw spirals, and he's like, "Oh my god, a quarterback!"
I know.
Like he was a fan. He was just a passenger.
He was a fan.
He was not leading anything. Maybe I'm sure he had his hands on the defense, but like, what did you do in an offensive league to help your team win games? You were absolutely dead in the water when Rodgers got hurt on the first drive last year. Nothing. So
you could arguably say that Zach Wilson offense looked a little bit better, if not the same, as the offense looks right now.
You guys,
that's so sad.
That's a good debate.
You guys let me get away with using the word tittering, and neither.
I heard it. I heard it, and I thought about it.
Was I just rolling too fast? Because
I think it was. Yeah. I kind of flew, like it was one of them things that hit you, but you was just like, "Oh, we passed it."
You want to know?
You were looking for it, but you're like, "Oh, we passed it." All right.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what's happening behind the scenes? When we go live, I send the YouTube link to like some of my like childhood friends that I grew up with. And this one guy, when he has a chance to watch, he just sends me a random word with like a word you would never normally use. And he wants me to just fit it into my next rant. And so that's what, and so
good.
The word was titter. If anyone wants to know, if anyone wants, it means
what is definition?
Replace the word giggle or laugh with this word when you want to impress someone.
I like that.
So I said he's just on the sideline tittering, watching Aaron Rodgers throw a spiral. Thank you.
I like it.
It's a gift, and it's an exciting challenge.
Holy shit! A super chat.
I'm sorry. Did I do it?
Let's go.
Too early. I'm sorry. Did I do it too early? I did not mean to.
No.
I like
it. No big
Listen,
deal.
When the producer wants to get to super chats, we get to super chats.
Let's start with Scoobs. Scoobs. She was out there in Seattle representing the Giants. Did you guys see her videos? I love this girl, man. She is the best. Go follow Scoobs if you're not already. Giants win, baby. And a big salute to the fam. A big salute to you, Scoobs, for going out there. I'm jealous because Seattle's on my bucket list of places I would love to go. I want to hear more about it. But that was an awesome game to be at, man, as a Giant fan. And you represented well. We appreciate you.
Shout
as
out
always.
To Mello too. Her and Mello. They take all these road trips, dude. We ran into Mello at week 1, I think. Spear.
So awesome. We did. We sure did. Awesome super chat, and thanks, Scoobs. Precious. The weekly Precious. We miss her as always. Hey. Revival family. Did you miss me? We always miss you. Of course. Just stop by the show. Show my brothers some love. Unfortunately, can't stay. life be lifing.
Trust me, I understand.
we
Going for
hear
that
you on
Masters. Go
that.
ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
Oh,
Going for that
she's the
Masters.
best. She's the
Proud
best. Listen, let's get right into it. Right, we talked enough Jets now. Let's talk about some positive shit that happened. Let us in.
Hef, Revivalists. Something happened this Sunday that we all didn't think was going to happen. The Giants won 29. What was it? 29 to 20?
22.
29.
22.
29. No, 29-20. We won by 9.
It was 20, right? We won by 9. There it is. Yeah, we're old, man. We forget this shit. But we won 29 to 20. And I have to say, I have to admit, this was a good game to watch on all sides of the freaking ball. Offense, defense, special teams. And I just want to get the Revivalists in here. We're going to rate this by stars in the chat, guys. This was one of the best Giants games you've seen in a while. Put 5 stars, 3 stars, whatever the hell.
Do we have limes? Is there a lime?
Is there a lime? Can I get lime? Is there a lime emoji? That'd have been fire. But guys, just give me your stars right now. The best game that you've seen out of 5. And we'll highlight it, of course, guys. But of course, man, Mr. Glass Half Full, man. Giants win in a great fashion, brother. Just give me the excitement. Give me what you was going through. Just give us a breakdown real quick, man.
I like limes. You like limes?
I like limes better. You have a lime emoji? For goodness sake.
I need a lime for a good time.
I love that one.
I missed that. I missed that fucking thing.
I missed that.
I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, that was a 4-star performance for me. Very high on the chart. It was maybe even 4.5. It was one of the best games, the best game this organization has seen since 2022. It's been 2 years since we had a complete performance like that, top to bottom. Special teams, defense was just suffocating. They held in check a very, very good and elite Seattle offense. And then Daniel motherfucking Jones, with just looked as confident as I've seen him since that Minnesota game. It's as he was just throwing darts all over the place, wasn't forcing anything, looked comfortable in the pocket, threw with anticipation. This is was making plays down the field, and running the ball like we haven't seen since his injury. It all came together for him. It all came together, and that's a fucking good Seattle team. It's a 3-1 Seattle team that just lost to a tough Detroit team, but they played Detroit tough. So that gives you world of confidence right now as a Giant fan and as a New York Giant player. And shout out to Brian Dable. Coached his ass off. And shout out to Bowen. Coached his ass off. That coaching staff deserves all the flowers. Daniel Jones deserves all the flowers. And I'm proud of the Giants. I'm proud of the Giants for that performance, man.
And if you don't mind, Hef, may I just take the reins just a tad bit?
It's your show. It's your show.
No, it's ours. It's ours. Trust me. But let me say this, man. I understand Daniel Jones gets his flowers, and we'll continue that in a second, obviously. But I just want to shout out. This guy played lights out. We go, no Singletary, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line is mid, no problem.
Talk about it.
This guy showed up to play. Talking about I'm sorry, what was it? Well, how many carries was it? I think it was 11 carries, right?
It wasn't many.
Over 100 yards.
I got you.
Tyrone Tracy, a rookie, may I add, showed up to play football. Why I mean this rookie was out there running. And let me say this.
18 carries for $129, 7.2 yards per carry.
This is something we haven't seen in a while. Let's be honest, it's something we haven't seen in a while. And I put a controversial tweet out there that got me hell, by the way. I understand, and I'm going to die on this hill today, and we'll explain that.
Let's hear it.
But I'll tell you this, man. Tyrone Tracy ran as if he was a vet. And what he reminded me of was a little bit of the Le'Veon Bell. Not exactly fully. But what I mean by Le'Veon Bell was the patience that he put into finding the hole and hitting it. You want to talk about running north-south type of. This guy was very decisive. His vision was A1. and he's a rookie. It is only going to get better from here. The question is how much he's going to be involved in the game plan once Singletary comes back. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this right now. I'm on a Tyrone Tracy hype train.
Yes.
This guy needs to be RB1 by next week. Okay.
Yes.
This guy showed way too many positives to sit there and play a running back by committee. He is an RB1. Now, again, I do understand there's going to be adversity. I understand that. There's going to be tougher opponents. But I'm telling you, for Tyrone Tracy, he'll not only learn from that, but he'll still get off.
Pause.
Oh.
He'll still get off.
Oh.
He will still get his numbers and he'll be 12. Right? He'll still get off. Right? He will still make his numbers hands down. 7.2 yards per carry.
That's stud like.
That's insane for a rookie. That's insane for a quarterback that's fresh in a league of men. We'll talk about a boy that became a man that day. So I want to give my flowers here to Tyrone Tracy, man. And of course, we got so much other people to break down about the game, but I just want to highlight that.
Just on top of what you're saying, this is a converted wide receiver that just turned into a running back 2 years ago.
Crazy.
Like, he is just scraping the surface of what he can be, getting the vision he had, the acceleration, cutting from lane to lane, cutting across field, and not losing any acceleration when doing that. Just a fucking pleasure to watch. And then he stuck what stuck out to me, he stuck his nose in there and picked up 2 blitzes, and one in particular that I remember. He just leveled one of the incoming safeties or linebackers. I was like, that's what's going to get you snaps. That is what gets you snaps in the NFL. Picking up them blitzes.
You know how smart he was? Sorry, in case his play wasn't great enough, his interview after the game, and this was his introduction to the NFL, and then he couldn't be, a nicer, smarter, greater person. But he did something sneaky that I thought was brilliant in there, and he gave a massive shout out to his head coach, which if you're trying to get more playing time, it's just about the smartest thing you could do, right? And he didn't do it in a kiss-ass way. He just said, what a game plan. Coach Dave's, he was, blown away by what Coach Dave's was doing. Now, Eli, you got more on this? Because I got something for you, sir.
Go ahead. Yo, I want to give it to you, brother.
I know you're excited about Tracy. We all are, okay? And I know what you mean with the Le'Veon Bell. I don't think any running back in history had better vision or patience than Le'Veon Bell. But you had a tweet during the game, and it popped off for good reason, okay? Let's remind the folks in case they missed it. Not as good as Saquon, but a much better runner than Saquon. He said it.
I said it.
He said it.
Yeah, I said it.
Talk about it. Because look at the numbers on this thing, okay? 21,000 people were like, wait a sec. Wait a sec. All right. So
explain yourself.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So I know the chat, and I know probably get cooked for this. Or you might agree by the time I'm done. Okay.
I like it.
But what I mean by a better runner than Saquon Barkley,
much better.
A much better runner by Saquon Barkley. Forgive me. Much. I'm going to add much. And the reason why I think that is because of the intangibles I just said. When you see his vision and him able to attack the holes that are presented there, how he goes for it, that's something Saquon didn't do. We understand Saquon had that home run ability, but if nothing wasn't there visually for Saquon Barkley to hit, he was stuck. He didn't really pick the holes wisely from there unless it was wide open. I'm going to be honest. And I do understand Saquon Barkley is the generational talent. I'm not taking anything away from Saquon by saying that. I do understand he is the man still. Saquon is Saquon. But when you're talking about the better vision, the better decisiveness coming out of Tyrone Tracy, that's something that we haven't seen in a Saquon Barkley per se. And I do understand the offensive line wasn't the way it is now. But if Saquon is that number one pick that we chose, I believe second at the time, right, Speed, if I'm not mistaken, he should overcome certain things like that at this point. This guy's a 5th rounder, Tyrone Tracy. So you don't expect him to come in here and run for all these yards or to be that decisive behind him. As a rookie, you do not expect something like that. So this is why I say, he's a much better runner than Saquon Barkley because he's able, not only that, being a wide receiver, converting into a running back, let me say this too. They're able to read coverages to see what they're doing back there because that's what wide receivers do. They go, oh, shoot, that's a cover 0. Oh, shoot, that's a zone. And they look at that quarterback like, yo, I'm about to eat. So Tyrone Tracy's they're able to see if they're going in cover or they're coming full out blitz, which is the reason why he can pick up certain blitzes better than Saquon Barkley.
Well, that is
you definitely got him there for sure.
I'm just saying.
I mean, listen.
This is why I said he's a must. Yeah, forgive me, guys.
You're not too far off in that. I will agree that decisiveness and hitting the hole hard is something that Saquon always struggled with. And listen, Saquon has that breakaway speed and that freakish athletic ability that not many people have, and that's what made him the number 2 pick. But if you're talking pure vision, running back decisiveness, I think you might have something. You might have something.
Okay, calm down. I love this kid, but it was one game, right? And it was a game in which our O-line performed about as well as we've seen in a decade. Like,
shout out O-line.
The O-line, like there were so many things about this game. This was like a truly completely balanced win. And the fact that special teams brought it home, like that game's going right to overtime, guys. That's a chip shot, right? And to end that game, Isaiah Simmons called game, and they just
unbelievable.
I mean, the way that finish is just something we're not used to. We're usually on the other side of that kind of freak kind of play that ends a game. Like, imagine being a Seattle fan and you're like, all right, thank God we survived. We're going to overtime, and then doink running the other way. Like that's misery for the other team's fans, and we know that so well. That it's so great to be on this side of it. But if the Giants can keep this balanced approach going, let's see how they handle an even better passing attack this Sunday night.
This is it.
But if their game plan, I mean, we had a parlay that we put in, right? The third leg was Metcalf going over 68 yards. And I'm like, man, Banks has been getting chewed up a bit. He might do this on one play. He might do this in the first quarter. You know, and you guys hit on your 2. I picked Metcalf and the over, and no one saw this defensive performance coming. We hardly talked about Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns wrecking a 4th down play to turn the ball over. You know what I mean? Like everybody was stepping up in different areas. The whole team, everybody contributed. And Dexter Lawrence is so fucking dominant. We are so lucky to have him. We need to get back to the playoffs every year so that you do not waste this man's potential and this man's prime. Keep getting back. Keep stacking good weeks now.
Dude, he's putting up defensive player of the year stats right now. He's got 6 sacks already for a fucking defensive tackle. He's on pace for 55 tackles for a nose tackle.
Who's getting doubled most of the time.
Yeah, this is absurd.
But this is the great part. This is why you got the Brian Burns and you got the Kayvon Thibodeaux to alleviate that double team. And it showed that game that there was like, man, who do we pick? And it forced Dexter Lawrence to eat because there was times that almost Kayvon Thibodeaux got home. Then there was times where you see Brian Burns. And listen, man, let me say, can I say this real quick? Kayvon Thibodeaux, you're working your way up, brother.
He's getting back.
You're working your way up the charts here. I'm gonna have to eat crow, and I don't mind. I don't mind eating crow. I'm not there yet.
Good to eat crow. It's good.
It's cooking. Oh, it's a good feeling to eat crow. I don't mind.
Yeah, let Daniel Jones make us. Yeah, let Daniel Jones make us eat crow. Let fucking Deontay Banks let us eat crow. Come on,
it's cooking. Like you finally heard the podcast. It was like, who the hell are these 3 guys? I'm gonna have to work. You finally heard it. Somebody from the Giants finally sent it to you guys. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man. All right. But listen, you're working your way, brother. I'm the same.
Perhaps we all needed just a little patience coming into this season, which is very hard to tell Giants fans. But if you think about it, in complete fairness, this was Jones coming back from an ACL with a new line, with new pieces on the line.
No, hold on, because you try to get at me with the Tyrone Tracy. It's only right that I get back at you, clap back a little bit.
Okay, so what do you got?
Bring that shit to me.
This guy talking about, you want to practice patience here. You want patience, right? He the one talking about, Joe Shea's on the chopping block. Get him out of here. Joe Shea just hasn't been good. Now, are you eating crow, my brother? Are you eating crow today?
Let's talk about it right now, right? Because I got it up here. I got it up here. Let's talk about his draft now, right? Because it's a constant thing now. We battle. Yeah, we battle almost all the time about, hey, Joe Shane's drafts is
Speed,
questionable. We don't
I'm
want
sorry,
him to.
Speed. I'm sorry, Speed. I don't mean to cut you off for a second here, brother. I don't mean to tell us. Yeah, I'm with this guy right here that's trying to duck. I'm with this guy right here that's trying to duck from all this right here. Ducking all this smoke I'm providing, brother. What you got to say now, man? The guy that wanted Joe Shane's job a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying. Saying.
His first 2 drafts were rightfully able to be criticized. You got to zoom in. I can't see this shit.
Yeah, I can't.
But
I'm coming in.
But this, I mean, JMS, we talked about it. And we wound up doing like a half-hour show just in our pre-show, just because this is what happens every time we get together. But we talked about JMS being one of the guys that the word bust was thrown out last year, but he was playing on a historically bad offensive line. You put him next to some serviceable guards now, and you don't even hear his name anymore. He's solid, right? He had a rough rookie year on a bad offense, and now the guy is solid. And this year's draft, I mean, you got to feel good about so far. Obviously, fucking rock star home run pick with Neighbors, who is already just on a absolutely stupid pace. He's a game behind, and he's like a yard out of first place for receiving.
And most catches.
Yeah, he's just absolutely tearing them up. But like Newbin, Phillips, like you got guys absolutely contributing, and now Tyrone Tracy coming out. Like these are how Theo Johnson finally getting in the game plan. Like this was like a dream game. Not only did it have a disaster in the first quarter, you overcame it. You still won by 9. That was a 14-point swing. Giants were punching it in on the goal line, and they scored a touchdown. That's a 14-point swing. And the Giants still won by 9 on the road. They didn't give up. They're resilient. One of my favorite things, because we give Daniel Jones such a fucking hard time. I just have to say this. He was so fucking possessed in this game. And I worry about him offering up his neck to anyone who wants to take it off.
I hate
but my man was taking shot after shot and just fucking bouncing up. One in particular, when that linebacker, just like a fucking Mack truck, just absolutely wiped him out. And he got hurt. The linebacker
got hurt.
And Jones stood up, shrugged it off, looked at him on the ground, and went back to the huddle. I think even Jones' teammates were like, "Jesus Christ! Like, what's wrong with this kid?" He was possessed, and that's a Daniel Jones we can get behind, right? Is he going to win you a Super Bowl? I don't know, but if he played like this more often than not, we wouldn't be torturing ourselves over the quarterback position, right? We'd be making different conversations all the time. But
you're right.
His drafts. The first 2 drafts, how many hits?
So we got. Would you consider Kayvon a hit?
Still to be continued.
I mean, Evan Neal is a massive bust.
He's not a bust. All right, so
Evan Neal.
Thibodeau's not a bust.
Oh no,
yes. No, Thibodeau's not.
Thibodeau's a quality starter. I wouldn't call that a hit, considering he was a 5th overall pick.
So Wan'Dale Robinson, I would consider it a good draft pick, not a great draft pick, not a bust. Azudu bust.
Yeah. He's coming along. It's all right.
He had a good game.
I think he's still playing. I would say TBD there.
Yeah.
Bellinger, I would consider it for a 4th rounder. I consider that a hit because he's still playing snaps.
I agree.
And he's not a
it's kind of like a B grade, right? It's not like you got a Kittle, whatever.
He's a backup. Daniel Bellinger's a backup compared to Theo Johnson. We understand Theo Johnson probably has the rest of the attention, but I like Bellinger a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Belton kind of incomplete. I'd say more whatever.
A lot of these are middle of the road. McFadden is an absolute fucking hit.
It's a hit.
Absolute hit.
That's an
absolute hit.
Hands down.
DJ Davidson, 2 sacks yesterday. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But 2 sacks. And
now you're getting so far like in the down draft that you don't expect too much at that point.
Right. So then you start going into this draft, 2023, last year.
Okay, let's do it.
Banks. So far, so good.
I consider that a hit.
I consider that a hit.
Yeah. If JMS keeps playing like he did,
Banks is a hit, not a home run.
Right.
There's no home runs yet. There's no home runs yet.
No.
We're going through all this. There's a couple of hits. There's a couple misses. Jalen Hyatt looks like a miss right now because he's just not.
He's not part of the. He's not ready, man.
He'd have to be a miss.
So let's call that a miss because we traded up for him too. So that's a miss. Eric Ray, and then you can start getting into 5th, 6th round.
Last year's draft is pretty rough.
Well, listen, if you got these 2 guys doing something,
you got something good.
Yeah.
And Hyatt can come in. It's just he's probably not ready. He's probably not ready as far as route tree. Eric Gray's still giving you production. He was coming in off the bench helping out Tyrone Tracy.
But
he was
got
still running good.
I mean, he's
So
young,
let's
but he's got a fumble
let's
issue.
grade. Let's grade the draft right now, right? I'd call this first year draft a C minus to even a D potentially. Like it was bad.
C minus.
I'm gonna say C minus.
C minus.
This second year draft, I call it a C. Let's call it a C. If Banks and JMS becomes legit starters, works its way up to B minus territory. And then this year's draft, I consider it a solid B plus at this point, maybe even A minus, depending on how good.
It's early, but I think this was his best draft.
Good one. Yeah, this was his best.
So it's just so funny because things are starting to work their way up the other way now. But it's one game. Who knows what's going to happen? But things are starting to look a little brighter for Joe Shane and Brian Dable after the Seattle win. Now, this coming game is such a fucking litmus test. You have the 1-4 Bengals who are clawing for their life. Is this defense? And let me tell you the defensive stats here. Shout out to Bowen because he's not getting talked about enough here. Shout out to Bowen for what we got here is the 11th ranked overall defense in the NFL right now in yards per game. 15th in passing yards allowed with what most of us thought was a very suspect secondary. 12th in rushing yards allowed with nobody next to Dexter. There's holes in this defense right now. And Shane Bowen is making it work. 11th in also points per game allowed. He's borderline top 10 with no Leo. We just got rid of McKinney, who is balling out in Green Bay, by the way. But there's arguably no less of a drop off than we ever anticipated right now. And that's I know we questioned him, but it's time to start putting some respect on his name a little bit.
That's also what I meant about patience is like, okay, this guy's getting used to the ingredients that he has. Some players are coming and going.
Not his players, most of them, right?
That's true. That's true.
But this is a guy who we expected Wink to put up, league leading sack numbers, but it's not. It's Bowen who came in as supposedly a guy who will blitz way less. But the Giants were rushing 4 and 3 guys were getting there. Like these dudes are they were playing out of their mind yesterday. You just love to see it, man. When the defense makes a quarterback uncomfortable, like that's Giants football for me. That's the shit.
Right.
Like I would
put that tweet out.
It's weird, but on a third down passing situation or fourth down, when you get to the quarterback and turn the ball over, that's more exciting to me than a long touchdown. Like just that dominant, you can't even get this play off or you can't connect with your guys because our pass rush is so fucking superior. That's Giants football to me. That's the recipe, how we won our Super Bowls. And like, I will take that all day, every day. And now if the offense can just keep improving, Neighbors is going to be back this week. We have our own Jamar Chase, guys. Right?
Yeah,
we just gotta I mean, it could be fucking really exciting. Wandale, I do want to give respect to Wandale because in week 2, I was like, I thought he was supposed to be part of the offense. Dude is like the most targeted dude in the NFL.
He's got so many catches.
And the yak and his yards after the catch is ridiculous.
He's got to clean up the drops. We had 2 drops last 2 weeks.
He got it.
Clean it up a little bit.
They all do. They all do.
Slayton had a great game. I feel like he's good. It feels like he has a drop a game too. Like I don't know what's going on. It's always in a big third down moment.
Right.
But because those are, I mean, we criticized Jones enough in the past. There were passes right in people's fucking breadbaskets that they were dropping on third down plays. So we got to be fair. And it's hard to say you got to catch everything, but because I mean these dudes, both of them stepped up.
Yeah, and this is the first time in a long time where we were like, damn it, Daniel. Like, no pun intended, right? We wasn't like, damn it, Daniel. Like, we were really like, yo, man, he's throwing you guys the ball. Catch the damn thing. You know what I mean? And especially that touchdown that he threw to Slayton. That was over 20 yards there, people, just to let you know.
Oh, so it was 40 yard. It was a 40-yard dart.
He could throw at it. It was a rope at that one, too.
Fucking rope, dude.
On a rope. Like, this guy, listen, Daniel played lights out. Now, I'm gonna get to that in a second, but you're absolutely right, man. These wide receivers got to do a little bit better as far as catching the ball. Some of them plays were crucial the way they should have catched it to extend that drive. You want to talk about, and again, I want to give credit to Dayball because look at the time of possession. That offense wasn't just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. These guys were moving and holding on to the ball for like 10 minutes of a quarter, 8 minutes of a quarter. You get what I'm saying? Like the time of that's coaching. That's like crazy amount of
game plan. That's keeping
great game
Metcalf
plan
on the
with-
bench. Yes,
And
dude.
guess what,
Yeah.
too? It keeps our defense. They're not
Rested.
winded. They're not back there. They're
Yeah.
rested. They're chilling. They're ready to go. That's why you get these
Such a good
sacks in this
point.
performance.
Such a
That's
good
why
point.
you get that. You'll get these defense coming out there killing it because why? The time of possession is lopsided on the Giants. That's coaching.
Double,
And that's
dude.
good quarterback play. Let's be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. And
You're
these
right.
receivers are getting open. They're finally finding schemes. And this is what happens when Brian Daboll calls the play besides Mike Kafka. Do you see the difference?
Daboll has been in his fucking bag, bro. He's been in
See
his
the
bag
difference?
the last 4 weeks. He's been fucking calling them up. You're right. You're 100% right. E.
And listen, let's get right to the quarterback here.
That
Always been a hot topic.
Mm.
Always been a thing in Giants land, Giants community. I just want to give something here, and we'll repeat this here. But of course, Daniel Jones, I believe, had 2 touchdowns that game, over 250 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Speed. Quarterback rating, I believe, of 101 or 107.
So yeah,
I believe it was.
he had 257 yards, 67% completion percentage. I'll get you the other stats,
But I tell you this.
he was
Daniel Jones had no turnovers the past couple games. He had no turnovers at all. Daniel
He
Jones
had one interception on a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
That was the
for
that-
Styles.
don't even count
That was
it.
I'm not counting that.
Whatever.
I'm not counting that.
That's not,
But I want to
yeah.
talk about no turnovers, not putting the ball in harm's way. This is what I remember when Daniel Jones was a turnover machine, right? You want to talk about coaching and this kid finally stepping to the plate and answering the bell. Daniel Jones finally did it. Okay. Daniel Jones finally found it. But before we dive into all of that stuff here, I just want to get the supers out the way because this is going to be a while. And I want everybody to get in here in the chat as well.
Let's do it.
Before we dissect it, let's get right to the
Jeff, you
super
wanna get
chat
this?
here, man.
Holy shit, a super chat.
I know this guy's hyped about DJ here. DJ
D-Ride.
lowered the shoulder. Brian, shout out Brian. DJ lowered the shoulder into El Shefe and the Vikings DB. He's Lazarus, yo. Shout out to the OL.
OL, man.
Listen,
Fantastic.
and I'm not saying this to Brian, but like I just hope all fans can just be excited about what this team can become and what DJ is instead of focusing on what other Giants fans have said in the past. Like, who cares? Enjoy the team winning. And like DJ's best asset, like the kind of quarterback he is, kind of quarterback you saw this week and in the playoff win, where he's decisive, he can pull the ball down and run with it, and he's not turning the ball over. Like that's such a big thing for his game because he doesn't have the Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes ceiling. But if he can protect the football and your defense is doing what it's doing, you can win games that way. That is a recipe to win games. So he's got to keep doing that. And here's the beard in disguise as his full name.
Oh, Jeremiah, shout out, man. I was on it with my guy Jerry Ferrara's pod, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
He didn't pull a hammy. I have to remember what we were talking about. He didn't pull a hammy, so I might have to agree with Rax. It was fun to talk. Fun talking to Jerry with you. I heard Salah was fired by Johnson for wearing a Lebanese support pin.
No, that was you have to rock your heritage pin, and that's what he did. And he wore it last year too. A lot of people say that it happened directly after that. I don't think that's what it was. I mean, Woody Johnson knew he was Lebanese.
I'm sure this is a
when he hired him.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, shout out to hockey starting.
Yes.
Rangers are back into it.
Igor turned down a 8-year, $88 million contract.
Would have made him the highest paid goalie in the league, and he turned it down
in history.
Very frustrating.
In
history.
What the hell is he looking for?
How is that not enough? If it's
he
Maybe
knows
don't
he's
be
got
in
the
New York.
Rangers by the balls. He knows he got the Rangers by the balls. They need him, and it sucks to start off the season like this. With this
What do you think they'll put him over? Like 98? Like another 10 mil?
they'll get it done. They'll add a years, whatever they got to do. They'll get it done. Rangers
I
know
don't
how to
know.
hold on.
This is the first time I'm starting to worry a little bit, though. I'll tell you that.
I ain't
I'm
worried.
not worried. I'll talk about it.
You can't pay goalies top dollar anymore. Like you don't need to. There's a lot of Stanley Cup winning goalies that have won that are not that good. you investing that much into a goalie is tough. So
Okay, Igor covered up a lot of mistakes for the Rangers. Kept them in a lot of games. We're getting off track. Let's take on Daniel Jones for
Yeah,
now.
right. Let's
Eli, go ahead.
We'll talk hockey. We'll get into hockey.
We'll get into hockey, of course, guys, when it's time. But I just want to say this, man, because we gotta give this guy his flowers. And dare I say this? Shout out Cop Pizzle. He will be on the show to have us eat crow. Eventually, we're gonna take it to one more game, Cop. All right. But Daniel Jones played damn good football.
Good football.
You guys heard the stats: 2 touchdowns, 257 yards, and he ran also for 36 yards or 38. Guys, we don't do stats here. All right, we just guess.
Not big stats, guys.
We're not big stats. Go to the other guys for that. We're talking to you like family here, okay? But Daniel Jones played lights out football. I have to admit, it just wasn't this game. I do understand we was calling him for more when we lost. Maybe it could have been the losses talk.
We need more big plays.
That's the thing, Speed. That's the thing. And I was getting to that. Daniel Jones actually provided the big plays we were looking for. The Slayton, the other plays as well. That forgive me, I just kind of remember the Slayton one that was big.
To Slayton, yeah.
To the Slayton. Like those are the plays that we are looking for when it's called for and it's dialed up, deliver it.
Yes.
The first couple of games, he wasn't delivering. And that's the reason why we were calling him out, because of the dinking and the dunking. We didn't have time for that. But the fact that he's doing that now, if Daniel Jones can provide the same amount of performances that he's been given this particular game, this last game here at the Seattle Seahawks, Daniel Jones will be fine. And again, we talking about if he's going to be the guy to get us to the Super Bowl. I stand on this hill. I don't think so.
Okay.
But can he get us to the playoffs? It's been proven. I just don't know if he's capable to start getting in the thick of things. Can he beat the Patrick Mahomes? Can he beat the Lamar Jackson? He can beat the Lamar Jacksons. But can he go there and beat these guys?
That's a question that I would love to get answered, because that means we're in the Super Bowl.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
But
get.
I was going to say the brand of football with the pass rush, with an O-line that's improving, possession, keeping the other team's offense off the field so that your defense has gas left in the fourth quarter. That's a recipe where you can win games, right? You see, like Mahomes is the ultimate. He succeeds basically no matter what. It's obnoxious. We know that. But this brand of football is winning football. And if you sprinkle in some more big plays, if you play that brand that you played against Seattle and you add in some big plays to neighbors, you're talking about a dangerous fucking team that you really don't want to see.
Facts.
And that's true. You know what? It's funny you say that too. I don't want to compare this because it's very far from it. But this seems like the Giants, the league doesn't take serious, and they're starting to catch that fire where you can finally go, man, where the hell did they come from? Because not too long ago, these guys just got placed on this list. Speed, what was that list again? I totally forgot. But they were like, finally, that the Giants like worked onto this list where they're like the team to watch in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
it was Barstool Big Cat, and the Giants are now in Barstool Big Cat. We are now in the frisky and fun category.
Frisky and fun.
Listen, we are frisky and fun. Listen, this team was fun to watch. Again, consistency, guys. We get it. There has to be consistency. We understand all of that, right? But a win is like the way that they won to a team that is above 500. I think they were like 3-1, I believe.
3-1. Yep.
Right.
They were 3-0 at one point.
But the way they beat that team, and then you start to look back and be like, man, we really could have won against Washington. Maybe we really could have beat Dallas. And then we're talking about a whole different Giants team here. So they're able to beat these good teams. You're like, man, I hope they didn't catch lightning in the bottle. But when you start peeling back the onion a little bit, you go, oh, no, they could have won that one if things would have bounced their way a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're starting to see these things coming, bouncing their way just a tad bit as the weeks go on. Again, we do understand the Bengals have, they have so much to win for at this point, because they're a team like the Giants that just want to win. They want to win. We get it. But if they beat the Bengals, we can't sit here and go, well, that was the 1-4 Bengals. Yeah. We got to start giving them credit. We got to start to go, yo, they beat a team that they was not say supposed to beat, but they beat a team that they were supposed to beat. Like, we got to start giving them credit
in prime time, which
in
has
prime
always
time.
been our bugaboo.
You know, I know, and I need to see this version of DJ against Philly and Dallas. Like that, I will not let him off the hook for that. You need to punch Dallas in the face, and we were too close this time. Like, I got to see this tough running over people against Dallas. I got to see that. But against Cincinnati, I know that their offense is high powered, but their defense is weak. And if they go in there with a similar game plan of keeping their offense on the bench, like that is a recipe that defense can absolutely be had, right? And I do trust Dable to get the game plan, the offensive game plan right. So this is a winnable game for the Giants.
They just lost their cornerback too, the Bengals. Like so,
That's
they are ready to be had. But like, listen, this is you love to see it.
You love to see it.
Shame. What's that?
Well, I thought of two things. My classic Jerry Seinfeld eating popcorn. Shame. That's a shame. Yeah. And then the Dave Chappelle that Spiro uses all the time. You hate to see it, but more than that, you love to see it.
Love to see it
with the Bengals starting cornerback.
Yeah. Listen, let's a few thoughts on Daniel Jones. We talked about it at the beginning of the year, and it turns out Minnesota is probably the worst opponent that he could have had right off the bat, right? Like coming off an ACL injury, Brian Flores is just having QBs in straight hell, like all of them. So like it's now looking like, hey, maybe that was just the worst case scenario for a guy coming off his ACL injury, first start in a long time. But the last 4 weeks, man, every game you see his internal clock get a little better. And I was one that said, hey, I don't know if this will ever get fixed, but he's trusting his offensive line. He's got a right tackle now. You know, he's got guards that are giving him time in between. He can look down the field now. That's why you're seeing the passes go down the field. So that's one. He's actually throwing with some anticipation now. He threw that ball to Slayton, both of the Slayton deep balls. Slayton was with the defensive back on each of those plays when he released the ball, but he put it into an area where only his guy can catch it. And he gave him a chance to catch it. It wasn't that nobody was stopping to catch the ball this time. They were running into the catch. And that is something that hasn't happened since 2020. I don't know. I want to say his rookie year. He has not done that since what I feel like his rookie year. So I don't know what clicked, what he practiced in practice, whatever it was. Fantastic. And that means the explosive plays are coming. The downfield accuracy. Again, Hyatt was open for a couple plays. Maybe Hyatt starts getting involved now. That's without Neighbors getting involved. Like this could lead to bigger and better things. And it all, in my opinion, stems from the confidence in his running game. He didn't run for a lot of yards here, but he picked up huge first downs.
Yes.
Set the tone on a couple of runs. He gained 7 yards when he could, like when they weren't there before. Like, so he gained important yards, made it tough for the defense, and made the defense respect him. Now that those Tracy plays start opening up even more, you know, and it could mean good things. And I hate this. I know we're here.
We're getting roped. We're getting roped.
We're doing this again.
Yep.
We're doing this again.
For the Giants in general. Yeah.
I'm telling you, these next 2 games are so huge for Daniel Jones. This defense for the Bengals can be had. You can win in a shootout. You have the weapons. You can do it. The Eagles' defense could be had. You can do it. Their secondary is not good. Their pass rush is not what it used to be. None of those pass rushers are good. You have a good offensive line. Make it happen, Daniel.
Fact.
Please do it.
Hey, listen, you want to know I want to give him credit too? Daniel Jones was moving in the pocket and throwing the ball. Like shifting, moving up a couple steps, launching the ball, throwing the ball. Like Daniel Jones was doing things I've never seen him do in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like he was really trusting his offensive line. Like, shit, I ain't getting hit. I ain't getting hit right here. Oh, cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he was just moving in and out of the pocket and throwing the ball like a quarterback. Listen, Daniel, please continue to do what you was doing. Flowers to the old line as well. Shout out to Illumino, who's very active on X, aka Twitter. Very active, man. Flowers to you. Kudos to you, man, in that offensive line. You guys are playing extremely, extremely well. We haven't seen this in an extreme long time. So for you coming in here and actually doing what you're doing and keeping our quarterback upright to play like this, then I'm cool. Please do it for the remainder of the year. Continue to do y'all thing. So kudos to that. And of course, kudos because we've been giving Slayton a lot of hell as well. 122 yards that game, longest 41 and 1 touchdown. Slayton, kudos to you. I just want to say this, man. Of course, we got to pay the bills. Okay,
wait, Jeff. What you did
real quick. Illuminor is like one of 7. Is it one of 7 tackles or one of 7 offensive linemen in the NFL that has not given up a pressure? Like not no a pressures. Like think about the struggles with Evan Neal, just erased overnight as soon as this dude came here.
Such a fucking vet,
game changer,
just a solid vet.
Last thing on Daniel Jones, because we're hard on him all the time. My only thing, because I'm not criticizing a single fucking thing about his game. Just stay playing like that, like you are right now. Just protect your neck. Like I love when he needs to run. That needs to be part of his game. It needs to be part of the game plan. I'm even okay with lowering your shoulder against a DB. Like you're bigger than those dudes. Fucking run them over, fine. But just watch your neck, bro. Like that will
he keeps getting hit right there every time.
What's up with our quarterbacks not sliding? Like Eli never slid. Now you got this guy that just can't slide.
Eli once fumbled untouched in the open field when he got slide.
I remember it was the Eagles game. I remember that game very, very vividly. But it's funny because
Daniel, right? Daniel. Yeah,
Eli didn't run that much, but Daniel's putting himself in harm's way. Even when there was a sack where, and again, I know he went down because he wanted to not go out of bounds to stop the clock, and he didn't want to throw it away to stop the clock. And it was late in the game, but he turned around and took a shot right in the back of the neck. Slide down if you don't want to go out of bounds. Just slide down. You don't need to take a shot on every play. You don't need to do it.
No, it is because the kind of runner he is, he doesn't have Lamar's like speed or athleticism. He doesn't have Mahomes' creativity. You see some of the shit Mahomes pulled last night, just faking defenders out. Even when he's past the line of scrimmage, he fakes them out with a pump. It's like that shouldn't even work, but it works because of the way he just moves his body. Jones is just a downhill runner. He's fast when he gets going, but he's one direction, right? He's not like shifty like that. So he's got to rely on power to finish his runs. But if he can run out of bounds and avoid some of the hits, throw the ball away when you have to, you got to just protect yourself because that is your ticket to changing the season and like moving forward.
Man, please for yourself.
Listen, not only changing the season, but you're talking about changing the scope of the cap as well. Because if he's done, it's an injury clause. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can I throw 2 more positive stats for the Jones people out here? Jones is currently 12th overall in the NFL in QBR at 61.3, ahead of Dak, Rodgers, Stafford, Mahomes, Goff, all these big names. And his last 4 games, 67% passing percentage, almost 1,000 yards passing in the last 4 games, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 99.3 passer rating.
That's winning football, right? Like he's kind of doing enough to win games. And that's why like just that one game against Seattle, think about how much that changed the conversation. Where now we're looking at Joe Shane's drafts like, that's pretty good, right? And versus firing everybody because we're 1-4. And like that's how much wins mean. So like when you lose to Washington because you don't have a fucking kicker, it's so frustrating. That's why like we want heads to roll because you can't give up wins. There's only 17 of these games. So everyone is so fucking important. But you can't let winnable games go away.
We held Daniels in check that game. That we were one of the few teams that held Daniels in check. We had every chance to win that game. We had every chance to win the Dallas game. And it slipped through the grasp. And we could play the if game all day long. Like you were saying before, we could be 4-1 right now. But we are what our record says we are because, you can play that game all the time. We could have lost that Cleveland game. We could have lost this Seattle game if things bounce all right. All these games are 1-score games for the most part, and you just need a bounce or 2 go your right way. You need a big play, and we didn't get them in the Washington and Dallas games. We got them in Seattle. That's what we want.
And guys, don't forget, man, of course, we got to pay the bills, man. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code REVIVAL, they will match your deposit by half up to $250. That's right. Download the app today. They will match your deposit by half, up to $250 if you use promo code Revival. So please download the app today and tell them we sent you by putting in that code Revival. I got to say it a million times. It's awesome. Revival. And then, of course, man, you can start gambling along with us because, again, guys, we damn sure missed the parlay.
We were so
Parlay?
close.
I said parlay. See, I'm still on what is it? The
I don't
parlay.
mind. I kind of like it.
I'll
say-
take the parlay.
Keep
Parlay.
saying
The
parlay.
parlay.
It sounds like
So we missed the parlay there, guys. You know what I
So
mean?
what we had, I had over Caleb passing yards. E had over Jaden Daniels passing yards, and Jeff took like what was the most slam dunk pick of them all, right? That's how gambling works, folks. That's how gambling works.
And you only missed about 12 yards, by the way.
We
it was
needed-
only
Dude,
12
we
yards.
just needed one completion when in the fourth quarter when they got the ball back and they had to move up, they had to pass. I'm like, dude, that's it. We just need like 12 yards. That's it.
Son of a bitch. And of course, guys, we
Vegas.
got to wrap this show just a tad bit, but we got to go to our segment, man. NFL cooked or cooking. So let's get right down into it, man. Show you who we're cooking this week and etc. And who's cooked this week as well, man. And I'm going to start with El Jefe on this one, brother. What you got?
Well, I like to own my bad takes, okay? And,
Okay, let's go around
last
that.
time we did this, I said Travis Kelce is cooked, but my man is cooking again. Okay, he's a problem. And listen, this is relative to tight end production in the NFL. I still don't think he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver, but he is getting all the targets now because of the injuries that Kansas City has had. He is back to being Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. They now enter the bye week at 5-0, so he's going to be a huge part of this offense moving forward. So he's cooking right now. Maybe he just needed this segment to wake him up. And
He heard you. He heard you.
and some injuries. But as you can see, I'm drinking with Travis Kelce. My man is cooking. I still don't like the mustache. I preferred the fade as well. But here we are.
He's a
Travis
full-on
Kelce
white boy now.
is cooking. But like anybody who plays fantasy, tight ends are not doing anything in the NFL. Like there is not one reliable tight end week in and week out. And Travis Kelce at 11 points a game might be as good as you get right now. So relative to tight ends, he's cooking.
Totally agree. Now let's get to speed, man. What you got?
So I got my cooking right now, and it's this guy will just never go away. Joe motherfucking Flacco is cooking for the Indianapolis Colts. This guy, I mean, he cooked last year with the Browns. I don't know what he did with the Jets. Like, I mean, I guess he was just a Jets. He wanted to get out of there.
It's hard to succeed there.
Yeah. He cooked with the Browns, and he is now cooking with the Colts. You could argue that Richardson doesn't really deserve his job back at this point. He put up 34 points last week. He put up 27 the week before, 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I mean, he's got 527 yards in 2 games, 70% completion percentage. This guy always knows how to just chuck it down the field, man. And as a guy that has about 8 Indianapolis Colts in my various teams in fantasy, I just love it because like the production was not there for anybody with Anthony Richardson. Now Downs is cooking. Now Pittman is cooking. Jonathan Taylor, it opens it up for him now. Like it all works. And Anthony Richardson, that's another discussion. He's not developed yet. He still needs a little bit more time, it appears. But you could argue, there's a very good argument that says Flacco gives the Indianapolis Colts a better chance. He is cooking right now, and I wonder what happens with Anthony Richardson getting a little healthier.
I love that you're having a drink with him, and I love that even Joe Flacco is surprised. He's pointing at himself like, "Me? I'm cooking?
Yeah, right.
Me? Like me?"
You sure about this? Are you sure about that?
He is cooking, bro.
He's cooking, man.
Eli, what do you got, brother?
There it goes. Some people might be shocked by this.
Let's see.
In fact, I think the revivalists and the revival, my brothers, might be shocked by this. But of course, man, we are a fair show and we give credit when credit is due, no matter who the person is. Because this week, I think this person was cooking. Daniel Jones. That's right. Daniel Jones was cooking this week, guys. Don't
I like
forget.
that picture too.
That was a good one, by the way. That was a good graphic.
He's
The
looking
graphic
at
guy
Daniel
needs a
like,
raise for real. But
Eli's,
shout out, man.
Eli's like ready to give this guy a friggin' kiss with how good he's playing. Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh,
Get
right
over
on
here.
the pecker. Right
Get
on the
over
pecker.
here.
Pause.
You
I said
handsome.
pecker. I'm about to say lips. No Diddy. Pause. Oh, that's so pause. So
He confused peck on the cheek with pecker
Oh,
at the worst time.
my God.
Well, thanks for coming,
That's the-
everybody.
thanks for coming
We
out.
have
This
that.
is the end
We
of
have
Revival.
that.
Thank you for watching the show. But yeah, shout out, of course, Daniel Jones, man, threw for 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception of a passer rating of 109. Guys, I'm telling you right now, in the season, 1138, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 86.3 passer rating as well, guys. What I mean, Daniel Jones have been playing some good football these past couple weeks.
cooking.
The record's the record. I get it. But you got to give credit where credit's due to this sole position that we are heavy and hard on, and we are hard on Daniel Jones. But this guy has been playing football. He's been playing well, showing up prepared. Like his decision making is on 10 right now. This guy he looks in very decisive a way he wants to throw the football now. He's not skittish in the pocket. The guy runs when he needs to. I want you to slide. Please work on sliding. Please. But overall, without Malik Neighbors, you see him throwing to a bunch of different wide receivers besides Malik Neighbors. This was the game I thought he was very comfortable in. Extremely comfortable. Like, you was finally like, man, it just wasn't the Malik Neighbors show where they were scheming just for Malik Neighbors. This guy was actually looking and going through his progressions and finding the open receiver. Daniel Jones, if this is going to be you from here on in, continue to make this you from here on in. So, brother, this week you are cooking for me, man. Shout out to Daniel Jones, man. Continue to ride this wave, brother. Round of applause for you. Let's go. Let's go. And of course, man,
Hold on.
Let's get to our super chats before we get up out of here, of course.
We got one more.
Hey.
And CK, he's just coming on with the great questions as always. With the NHL season underway, which current New York Giant would make a good hockey player? Now, CK always throwing us for a twist here, curveball. I'll go first.
Yeah, good.
I think
I got one.
I don't know why, and again, I don't know why this is always going to be tough, but I think Wando Robinson has the contact balance and the speed and the agility to be a good scorer for me. I think Wando Robinson would be, for me, strikes me as would be a good hockey player. Again, tough to say. I think he would be an offense. He would be a forward, quick. He would be a quick skater in this world of mine that I'm picturing, like a Pavel Bure esque kind of player. So I'm going to go Wando Robinson in my mind. What about you, Hefe?
For similar reasons, I was going to say Tyrone Tracy for this guy's vision, his burst. That's all I got.
Yo, you want to know? You want to know who I would pick, man? Brian Burns. I believe he has the agility. To actually do that. So I think the agility, also the power to hit. Don't forget on those blades, you got to be very agile.
Spin move. Yeah.
Have to be. So I think Brian Burns is the closest to a hockey player. But guys, I just want to bring up this one thing before we get out of here, because this is a good question. Because I just said, hey, this isn't the Malik Neighbors show, and he threw to every receiver, right? Shout out Fabian, man. Do you guys believe what some are saying, that Malik Neighbors might be a crutch? And I'm gonna start with El Jefe on that one, man.
That's a good one.
Do you guys believe what some are saying? Malik might be a crutch. No, I mean, great players are not crutches; they are assets. So no, I don't buy that at all.
Speak.
I don't think he's a crutch. I think there is a little element of wanting to keep Neighbors happy, and this is Daniel Jones needs to thread the needle now. He needs to find a way to keep Neighbors involved and feature him, but also not go away from Slayton and Wandell like you did last game. And Theo Johnson, he spread the ball around. You need to find a way, the happy medium now. You need to find a way to get Neighbors the ball and do what you did last game in Seattle. Combine those two, and you have yourself a fucking great offense to work with right there.
And you know what? And I'll wrap this up too, and I'll say this, man. I can see why some may say that Malik Neighbors is a crutch because you're going to him, but he's that type of receiver, like you said, Speed, that, and this is the lack of a better words, that demands the football. Like this guy wants the football, and he's talented enough to put the football in his hands, and you see special things can happen. So I don't see he's a crutch. Like Hef said, he's an asset. But with him being out, now you start to believe and put faith into a Slayton, into a Theo, more into Wandale. You get what I'm saying? Because if Malik Neighbors is double coverage and the safety rolls over to him, Slayton's going to take the roof off somewhere. Or Wandale's going to have the middle open somewhere where he's very good at yards after the catch. So the only thing without Malik Neighbors being in the game this week is that you can trust those guys a whole lot more than you've been trusting them, and you're not looking just for Malik Neighbors because why? He's dependable. He's the guy that's going to make the catch. He isn't going to drop the ball like these guys have been dropping the ball. So I don't think he's a crutch. He's an asset, but it's going to be a good dynamic once he comes back to see what these guys are capable of doing, because it's going to be fun to watch, man, that these guys are now stepping up to the plate and doing it.
What do we do with Hyatt? What do we
good
do?
question.
How does he not get a target in that game without Neighbors playing?
There's got to be something else here. It's either a Jones.
There is.
Jones doesn't have the connection with him. He's not looking his way. The trust. Something else is up.
Does he have a catch this season?
No.
That's insane. That's insane.
0 catches.
Let me say this, Speed, and we're probably gonna have to go to our old days when we first started doing this thing, and Hef as well. We really gonna have to just lock into the film room.
Yeah,
lock into the film room and see what his things are.
Call
some
people
people up and see.
I'll say this: he was open on the long pass to Slayton down the sideline. Hyatt was also open on that play, but again. If you're Daniel Jones, do you go to the guy that you've been throwing the ball to for the last 5 years, that you trust, that you know is going to come down with it, you know is running the same route, or are you looking Hyatt's way? So clearly, there's a trust issue here, and he's not looking Hyatt's way sometimes when he needs to. And I'm hoping the plays are there. And again, I think Cy could follow on Twitter. This guy Cy broke down the film. He said, "Listen." Two of the plays, Hyatt ran a shitty route. 2 of the plays, he was open, just didn't get a throw to him. 2 of the plays, he had good blocks, and it's coming, and we forget how raw that Hyatt was coming out of Tennessee. He had 1 good year in a very simple offense. We have this guy under contract for the next 2 years still. It could be coming, but Slayton has taken that role. Wandale has taken the role. Neighbors has taken all you can't. Where are you going to get this guy targets? There's too many people in front of him right now.
We thought he was going to take over from Slayton, or we thought that was a possibility, and Slayton just didn't let his job go. And if Slayton didn't have a few drops, I don't think we'd be questioning it. Really, I mean, Slayton's playing well. If Slayton's getting open and he's stepping up the way he did last week. I mean, as long as he doesn't fire his gun off at the audience again or at any reps or anything, I think we'll be fine.
Can we just real quick talk about that before we get out of here? I apologize. I know we're supposed to end. I'm sorry. But you want to talk about this? I'm really starting to think, and this is just conspiracy theory, Eli, here. I'm sorry. It's what I do.
Let's hear it.
I think, man, they start to call these bullshit calls knowing that New York's such a large market and will outrage just for clickbait, man, because there's no way in hell you're going to penalize a guy for putting the first down. And Patrick Mahomes just did it yesterday.
Everybody does it.
Freaking CeeDee Lamb does it all the time. Everyone does that first down thing. Some of them even do it even more flamboyant and robust than freaking Darius Slayton did it.
Dude, CeeDee Lamb.
That was why was that a penalty? I'm sorry, Hef. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're good, brother. Just we saw. I think Downs on the Colts got called for one, the same call, and then CeeDee didn't. Patrick Mahomes didn't get called. So it's like, be consistent. Are you trying to send a message? Because you're supposed to let the league know ahead of time if you're going to crack down on something. Right. Pointing towards the end zone for a first down is something.
And even go he just went that.
Right. I forget if it was a college player that got a flag because he like tackled somebody and he
Yes.
got up and was like pop 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 pop. Like
Yeah,
okay,
that's crazy.
That's
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 different.
crazy. That's
But
crazy.
pointing
Seems-
for a first down, which is what the refs do when there's a first down, is not a penalty. Like it's fucking absolute asinine.
Oh,
It's bullshit.
God, bro.
And it took 15 yards away from what was a very big play. So I think it's absolute fucking horseshit. And they need to
Yeah.
get their stuff together because if you're not going to call it across the league, you remember week 1, Ravens were playing and whatever formation rule they were trying to crack down on, the Ravens got called like 3 times on their first drive for one of their tackles lining up too far back. Like
Yep.
they have a message, and when they try to crack down on these things, then don't let CeeDee Lamb get away with it, and Patrick Mahomes,
right.
and probably a bunch of other guys that we didn't even see on Sunday get first
If you
down.
want, if you want that call to be noticed more, you should probably flag CeeDee Lamb and Patrick Mahomes, not fucking Darius Slayton, who's a nobody compared to those guys. If you want that call to be known, do it to the guys that are more prominent.
I agree. I agree with that, Speed.
What are
And,
we
you know,
doing
it's just a crying shame. It's just where's the fun in the league? Like this is what gets you hyped. Like, listen, like, there's not like there's fights breaking out every damn game, guys. Like, there's no brawls, right? So if anything,
I mean, not
now,
on the
just get
field, yeah.
right? Like, just get the team hyped. Like, if anything, if you're the opposition, then go out there and be like, you know what, man, this got me hyped. He did it first now. We need to get a few of those. Like what? Like, come on! Like, it's just fun. It's part of the game. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get
So
it.
you
man.
can't
The
point-
owners, man.
You can't point for a first
point.
down.
That's crazy.
Don't
Like,
point.
what are you gonna just hand the ball back, run back to the huddle? Like, it's I don't know. It's just terrible to me.
You allowed
bad.
celebrations, right? Because you were like, okay, let's loosen up. Let's allow touchdown celebrations. If a guy points, I mean, it's nothing. Just go on. Just nobody's looking at that and saying, I should get a gun. I should go. Hold on. He just got a first down. Wait a second. Let's go shoot some people. Let's go shoot some
Like,
people.
for real, like, listen, here's the thing. We can watch an action-packed movie, right? Has all the guns in it in the world, but when a player does it, like, come on. Like, guys.
All the
come
first
on.
person shooter games.
fun
They're
league.
cool.
Right?
No.
Like, playing Call of Duty right now as we talk, probably.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No
Like,
fun
come
league.
on. They are.
There's 488 people. Somebody's playing Call of Duty and just listening to us.
And just
Somebody's
listen
doing it.
right.
Shout out to that person.
Oh man, I missed that. I miss those days.
No.
I miss those days, dude.
Listen, I haven't played the game in years, man. I'm gonna
I
lie.
know.
I do miss it. We have to get one. I think we have to get one and like make it an account. and have
Yeah,
everybody play
don't
with
tempt
us.
me with a good time.
I'll be fire. But guys, man, shout out, man, to the 486 people in the building. We thank you so much for watching. Guys, if you're on X watching right now, head over to the New York Revival page. Hit that link to head over to our YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and thumbs up for us, guys. The more we do this, the better. We have special guests coming in next week. We have special guests locked in pretty much this entire season. So you want to look out for that. Hit that notification bell as well. Guys, man, what a show. What an audience. Thank you so much. On behalf of my brother, man, you guys know who they are. And that's Mr. Glass half full of nets. Speed a few nets.
Hey, I didn't talk about my Mets. Can I just
Yeah.
Oh, he always
Real-
waits.
real-
He's like, hold on. Shout out,
real quick?
shout out women's under 18 lacrosse team.
No,
Who just beat Hungary.
Shout out Liberty. We forgot. Hey, E, you forgot about Liberty. E, that's
I
your job.
did. Shout out to
forgot
the
about-
Liberty is now the WNBA finals. And listen,
We're
I'm telling
going
you right
in.
now, I'm putting this on. I'm putting whatever. I mean, I say my lifesavers. That's nuts because people will be like, what? No, listen, I'm betting right now, New York Liberty, bring it home. I'm betting right now. They're
We'll
bringing
do
it
it.
home,
We'll do
man,
it.
for us. I'm just saying.
The-
Shout out New York
the-
Liberty, man. Bring it home, man. Let's have that parade
Bring it home.
on the Avenue of
The
America.
oh my God, Mets are up 2-1. They're one game away from going to the National League Championship Series. This team it's the Miracle Mets. They got something going on, bro. They got something going on, and I like the lineup is producing 8 runs tonight. Fucking Manea, just a stud. If the bullpen could just do their job, this team has something special on it, dude. They have something special on it, and the home crowd was ravished. They just cannot wait to have a contender to cheer for. We're dying for it, dude. We're dying for it. Lindor's doing great. Like the MVP, like oh my God. By the way, oh my God, you know the song "Oh My God" that's been carrying the Mets for so long.
Oh my
Remix is coming out October 11th with Pitbull. It's all coming together. It's all it's just
Y'all got a
Grimace is
theme
out
song
there.
now too. Damn, I
Yo,
need to
we
pay
got
attention to
everything.
y'all,
We
man.
got everything. It's just the vibe.
Y'all got Grimace. Y'all got Haktua. Y'all got
Just
everybody.
Here's the problem, and here
A lot
and
of gimmicks.
this
A lot of gimmicks
little
going on.
seed
It's
of
all
fucking
gimmicks, bro.
doubt.
Damn.
They have
Yankees
little
don't need
seed
all
of,
that.
yeah. Yankees are in fucking. They're just tied with the Royals. So worry about yourselves, Yankees.
You right.
After that last performance, worry about yourselves.
Right.
Which actually no. Listen, we want a Subway Series. That's what we want here. We want the Yankees.
That
to
would be
cruise.
best case.
We
That
want
would
the
be
Yankees
best
to
case.
cruise
Oh my
past.
gosh.
The Yankees have the easiest path they've ever had to have. They're either going to have the Detroit Tigers or the Cleveland fucking Guardians in the next round. They got the Royals this round. Go out and beat those motherfuckers. Make it to the World Series. And let's have a Subway Series and they do it for New York, man. We need
New
this.
York needs
We
it.
need this. We've been
New York
dying for
needs
and,
it.
and I felt the same way with the Rangers. I felt like they were the team of destiny last year, and they just fell short. I can't have my boys fall short again. Just go out and win. Come on.
They're such a heart attack team, but they've been a lot of fun. Like you've gotten me invested in the Mets. Like and I'm happy for you.
I appreciate it. But it's fun baseball. Like if you turn on the games, like they just do something fun every game. It's just fun to watch. Like I have my Yankee fan friends saying, "Hey, I'm barely watching the Yankees at this point. The Mets are must-watch TV. They're must-watch, bro."
It's a magical season, man, that they have going on, man. So you can't turn away from that. When you're starting to see, not to say, I guess destiny, like it feels like
destiny. It does.
You know what I mean? So it's just to watch that. It's historic. Like these guys went from bottom of the barrel to now, like almost going on to the finals a little bit there. So
there's the Mets, baby.
Man, you gotta watch that. That's historic, man.
It's
but I just want to say this.
That's all I gotta say.
Let me just get up out of here because it's only fitting, man. Before we close the show out, shout out to Chris Peace, man. Former revivalist,
Eli, real life. What did Spiro say that one day? What team did he shout out? It was like
it might have been.
What was it? Oh,
was it rugby?
It was like a high school.
No, it was worse than rugby. It was worse than.
It was worse.
It was bad funny, but I forget. Oh my god!
Cricket. It may have been cricket.
It might have been.
It
was
was
it cricket? Yes, it was. I think it was like shout out. Yo, we gotta. If anyone can find that clip,
it wasn't cricket.
Like the Mets should have been like one of our leading stories. But
I know.
But closing out a show, he legit was like, hold before we get out of here, the men's national cricket team just took care of business. And I mean, Eli, were like, you were so. I know we love it because Spiro's our producer. Let's be honest.
My eyes are everywhere. My eyes are everywhere. I got my fucking boots on the ground everywhere. I am all sports all the time.
He's so committed.
You want to know something crazy? No lie, right? He'll produce this entire show. If we skip one thing, and sometimes I'll do it on purpose just to get these reactions.
he misses nothing, dude.
No, right? He misses nothing in these notes.
It doesn't matter how many beers, how many gummies. The guy catches.
You forgot about
everything.
Women's.
He says everything on his notes. I'll skip it, and he'll go right to it. Yeah, man. Shout out, man, to this stat here, the horse racing today. Don't tell him I killed you. Ran at number 1. Like,
this is why we do it. We do it for the people. I do it for the people out there. They do it for the Mets fans out there, the curling fans out there, the fucking the 10 and under Milford girls, whatever it is. I'm there for you guys. I'm there for you.
No stone left unturned. Not with this guy.
Absolutely. Shout out, man, to everyone that watched today. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. Don't forget to download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code REVIVAL. They match your deposit by half up to $250. That's right, guys. Go out there, download that app today. Show us that support. Whoever supports the super chats, thank you. Whoever loves gambling, Underdog Fantasy, we appreciate you. Get us to an away game next year. Come on, guys. We need your help.
Come on.
We need your help. All right? We appreciate you. And of course, man, behalf of my brothers, you guys know who they are. And that's Mr. Glass Half Full and that's Spee if you nasty.
Mr. Cricket.
And shout out to my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Ben Affleck. Did I say that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I had to do that. I had to do that line like 7 times. I'm like, Affleck? I'm like, what is that?
I do say Affleck, by the way. Did I say Affleck? I said Affleck.
Is that
Ben Affleck?
Yeah, okay.
Affleck.
Sounds good. Affleck. And of course, man, it's your brother, your boy, Eli Rax, aka Vibes. We see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings.
Also our brother, Shout out USA Cricket.
New York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodlard Roar!
Let's go.